and welcome. Once again, I'm Marcus. This is Max. Today, we are going to go over not how to deck build so much, but more just some general ideas of ways to approach deck building.
Yeah. Core things to understand about deck building so far. It is 38 cards. This is very, very important. You can't be less, you can't be over. 8 of those cards consist of your 4 blessings and your 4 champions. Now, the key thing about champions as well is there's a 20-point limit on champions. You must have 4 champions.
Got to have 4 champions.
Cannot be over 20 points. Can definitely be under 20 points.
Can be under, but must have 4 champions, yes.
This leaves us with 30 cards. Each card has a limit of 3 per deck as well, so you can't have 4. You can have 2, and you definitely can have 1, but definitely not over 3. And must equal 30 cards. Cannot be under, cannot be over.
All right. So we both took different approaches. What was your initial impression on how to build the best deck?
Well, coming from a little bit of a wargaming background, I was a Daughters of Cain player for Age of Sigmar, so I was looking into Order originally, trying to find out my favorites, but when they weren't released yet, I still stuck to that champion idea. I'm a big fan of Morathi, and I thought, I'm going to find some champions. I'm going to see them do really cool stuff. I'm going to see their points synergize really well to be near or under 20. And try and have really powerful effects that synergize well with each other. Okay, so that was my core thing.
So you started with like a powerful combination of champions.
Yeah.
Trying to get them interact with each other, or just sort of like for powerful effects?
100%. So try and interact well with my opponent, interact well with me, and synergize together. So obviously at the start, placement of your champions is very, very important for the lane system. And having champions that can choose lanes very well, battle against wizards or warriors very well.
So you took a very, very champion-based approach to your deck building. Okay. Well, so in contrast to that, the way I looked at the game is you get 30 cards and only 4 champions. So the way I looked at it, and to be honest, they can be quite consistent, these decks, I feel, because you get 30 cards and, if you want, you can have 3 of the same card, which means you have 10%. 10 it's a pretty high chance of getting the cards you want.
Yeah.
So the way I looked at it was, well, I'm going to find combinations of cards that interact really well with each other, or have a really powerful sequence. If I play this card, and then this card, I get this awesome effect. Or this card allows me to do this cool thing with this other card. So I based my idea of building very much around trying to find really cool combinations of cards. And then based on those combinations of cards, I then tried to find not necessarily the most synergistic champions, but the champions that would benefit the most from me having those cards in my deck or those card combinations. Even to the point where if you consider the quest objectives on a champion, if you know that your intention is to play this card into this card into this card, if you can find a champion that has the quest that unit
in those orders,
in that order, it's pretty good, pretty sweet. To be able to go, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and then you've got a blessing all of a sudden.
So you've definitely seen the powerful cards, how powerful the cards can be, and then kind of got a champion to fit those cards.
Yeah. Exactly right. So in that case, I mean, obviously the 2 decks are going to look quite different. I mean, my champions aren't going to seem probably on the surface as powerful as yours, and yours are going to immediately be super powerful. But your cards might not necessarily interact as amazingly with your champions. Whereas
it's still about finding the synergies. I mean, you can't just throw some cards into 30.
Of course not. Of course not. There are definitely deck building decisions to be made.
But yours is all about the synergies between the cards themselves, and mine synergizes much more with the champions and those cards.
Yeah, of course.
And how they work around.
Now, obviously, I mean, at the moment, there's the game's fairly new.
Oh, very new.
There is not a huge number of cards. There will be many more cards coming out, which means, deck building approaches are going to change with that. But, for now, these are the 2 approaches we took. I mean, like, for instance, for me, I think the idea of blessings are super powerful.
There's no doubt about that.
The idea of just getting a blessing in play as soon as possible, for me, seems great. Because
I think that's a third strategy, even though we are kind of similar in what we... you're obviously very deck-orientated, I'm very champion. But to be very blessing-orientated, you were saying you wanted to quickly finish off those
exactly
champions.
right. If you can just, set your deck up in a way that all you want to do is play, you don't really even care about what the cards are as much as what type they are. All you want to do is rotate your champion 4 times, fire off a blessing, go from there. And then, the blessings are varying amounts, like depending on what you flip, then you can play from there.
Things
but there are some incredibly powerful blessings.
I think the 3 kind of choices between blessings, champion, and cards themselves, they're all very, very viable strategies right now. Nothing is wrong, and nothing is even right, I think.
No one knows yet.
Yeah, without any extensive play testing, which will happen. I'll be grinding this game quite a lot. I think it's very hard to find out. But
for sure.
Definitely our way of thinking of how to get through those deck building strategies. Blessings, champions, units, focus on something like that. Get the synergies, go from there.
Well, anyway, thanks, guys. There'll be many more of these videos coming out. Please hit that subscribe button down the bottom there. Follow us on Facebook. You know, we're very active. Love our games. Even Twitch will be streaming. We will definitely have live.
I will
live
definitely
coverage
be live streaming this game.
of this content.
Absolutely love it.
Hitting Twitch. So again, thanks, guys. Give us a like as well. That helps a lot. And until the next time, thanks.
See you guys.